Hello and welcome to this Working Moms Academy's weekly webinar. First, I want to apologize for the technical glitch, and I want to thank Virginia for the patience. I had a problem earlier with LinkedIn Live, but now we're just streaming only on Facebook and YouTube, and we're just gonna post this on LinkedIn later. And today, I would like to welcome you on this topic, how to balance career, life, and family. So let me ask you these three questions first. Do you struggle? Do you ever struggle to manage work and life and the rest of your family? I've been struggling for the past 10 years. But Miss V has the answer for us. Are you struggling to live up to the unrealistic work-life balance expectations from yourself and from others? I've suffered enough with the struggle of the unrealistic expectations. I've been killing myself. But there's really a lot to learn. And last, do you want to discover secrets how to manage and balance life, family, and career? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are on the right webinar. Miss V is helping me on the slides. So do you know the statistics? They said 66% of women give up their career for their children. But really, I think it's very noble and it's very true. As Zig Ziglar said, you can't really be considered successful in your business life if your life in the home is in shambles. So this is why it's very important. We mothers are only not working moms. We are only also mothers, workers, employees, and entrepreneurs. And moving to the next slide. Miss V, sorry, there's a background. Is it my microphone? Okay, it's okay now. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me already, and for those who know, I hope it's okay if I tell you a bit of story about myself. I experienced burnout in 2014. You can imagine, I've been juggling life, family, and career that led me to a burnout in 2014. That's why I left my corporate career in 2016 for 2.5 years to become a full-time housewife to my family. And of course, to my children. But during those 4 years, I realized I am not born to be a housewife either. So I've downshifted and reinvented my career for the past 4 years as audit manager, Amazon author, housewife, consultant, international speaker, career and life coach, mompreneur, and senior auditor, and startup founder. I am also an NLP master practitioner. Because of the struggle I've been through as a mom who experienced burnout, juggling life, family, and career, I founded Working Moms Academy because the ultimate goal is to help moms overcome stress and burnout. And what I'm very passionate about is really training and coaching others. And it has been my mission after experiencing burnout to help others live happier lives. So today, let me introduce, or let herself introduce, Miss V. Please let us know about what you do and who you are.
What I do, I actually help entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants build powerful personal brands on LinkedIn. And I enjoy doing what I do because I help them build their stories, build their presence, and embrace vulnerability on LinkedIn to help them accomplish their business and career goals. Yeah. On the personal side, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 5 kids. You will see the age there: 7 years old, 10, 14, 19, and 22 years old. And as I was looking at your first slide and you're asking, are you struggling? I started to think about myself 10, 15 years ago. Because when I started, I was struggling. And I'm happy because I'm here now. I overcome the struggle. There are still challenges, but much more, the challenges are much easier compared before. And that's because I learned a lot along the way. And I think that's the reason we're here today, to learn from each other, to learn from each other's journey, and pick up whatever we can learn from each other to thrive as a mom and as a career person.
Thank you, Miss Virginia, for that introduction. We are very privileged to have Miss Virginia today. She is not only the #1 personal brand LinkedIn brand strategist in the Philippines, but she's also known across Asia. Let me just tell quickly about Working Moms Academy, because this live webinar is sponsored by Working Moms Academy. It is a platform and community that supports mothers struggling with stress and burnout, because we provide education that academic and school slack. As what, Miss Virginia is gonna talk us today, how can you manage a life, a family, and career? Because really, no education has taught me that, nor corporate experience. And Working Moms Academy is about training, coaching, certifications, joint venture, and marketing ads by sponsor. This is actually our platform. And we have been recognized as one of the top 20 finalists of the Built to Last Hackathon Female Founder Pitch Competition last year. And of course, today we will talk about three things. Yes, Miss V. Miss V is sharing the slides for me. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about what are the three steps that you can do to help balance career, life, and family. First is about knowing your values, knowing your boundaries, and knowing your power. Okay, I will let Miss V start, then I'll share my steps along the way. Yes, Miss V, let's move to the first one, knowing your values.
Well, as a
Maybe you
mom,
can move to the next
um,
slide so it will be there.
there.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is that first thing, it's very important that we know our values. As a mom, what do we value? Because without those values, it's very difficult. Meaning you get distracted, you say yes to everything, you don't have priorities. And, when you have the values, it's easy to make a decision. Is it a yes or is it a no? Without clarity on values, it's very difficult. And you get distracted and frustrated. But with the values, what I learned, Wanda, is that you also learn your non-negotiables as a parent, because that makes a huge difference for me. When I didn't know my non-negotiables back then, I just said yes. Sometimes you will be in the middle of a lot of things. Your family needs you, your career, your job needs you, and then you want to do something for yourself. But if you have non-negotiables, it's easy to make that decision. Now, is it a yes or is it a
This is very good, Virginia. I think I was able to now manage a family life and career when I was able to clearly say, what do I really value? This is what I want also every person who's listening to us today. Ask yourself, what are the three things that you value the most? Because for me, it was my family. Of course, it was myself, and it was my career. When I was a single, it was career, myself, and then family. But I think the moment you start to have kids, then the priorities totally shift. But the problem with me was that, when I changed from being a career woman to a mother, my career, I had experienced burnout because I did not put my family first. I mean, I've been very busy, but when I realigned my values, like when I left corporate to fully take care of my children, that is when I felt and have convinced myself that I really put my family first. Now, for those who are struggling life, family, in career, it doesn't matter, what your top values are, but it's all about knowing it and aligning every schedule of every day to make sure you have enough time spent on the things that matters most to you. So I'm very busy because I'm working, I'm managing Working Moms Academy, but every day I made sure that I have time for my children. In the morning, I drop them to school, and every evening, we end it with a prayer together. So this is very important, I learned in managing a life, a family, and career. Know your priorities and know your values. And this is also what Miss Virginia was saying, right? I think our values are our North Star. And if you do and work on it every day and you give value to your values by spending time on it, then that really will help you manage a life, a family, and a career. Yes, Miss B, let's move to the next one, which is also very important. Okay. Next is about knowing your boundaries. Maybe I will share first. Initially, when I was struggling to really manage, how do I manage, a full-time job and then being a full-time housewife? I always tell my office mates before, I'm doing my double shift now. because after reaching home, I need to take care of my children's schooling. Of course, some cooking is there, but I was able to have some boundaries. And I love this quote from Henry Cloud. Let me just read it to you. Boundaries define us. They define what is me and what is not me. A boundary shows me where I end and someone else begins, leading me to a sense of ownership. Knowing what I am to own and take responsibility gives me freedom. So I experienced burnout because I was doing everything at the same time. But I learned that I am not really a housewife material. So when I realized that I have a boundary of I'm not really into cooking or cleaning or everything else in between, then I started to ask for help from my family members. So, and of course, the person I can trust the most is either my mom or my sisters-in-law. So when my kids are growing up, and even up to this age, my mom is with me. And because I really cannot, manage a career and then think of what will I have for dinner or how do I cook. And even now, if I will cook, I will first ask my mom, Mom, can you please chop those things for me? Because if I chop, it will take me an hour to chop a simple vegetable or a simple meat. But my mom, because she's an expert of it already, she can do it in minutes. And she will do it with perfection because she even, gives criticism to the way I chop the vegetables. So knowing your boundaries of what you can do and what you cannot do can help you outsource. That is from my person. In terms of my academic, let me also share about my kids' academic schooling. In the family, we do have something called escalation level. I've learned that escalation is not only for corporate, but also at home. So let's say, for example, my kids do have some math assignments, which is very, very difficult. There's always an escalation of level of if mommy doesn't know, then daddy is next in line. So it's not only in mathematics, but in every area of their education. I mean, now I learned that my kids' academic is very advanced than I have. They are now, at year 7 and year 5, they have programming. They have, my year 7 already have physics, biology, and chemistry. And, she becomes overwhelmed at some point, creating programs, creating games, and I cannot even be of help either. So knowing what I can only help and what I can only bring her towards, so I just become a motivator in this aspect to say, baby, if you want to learn, you can always go to the internet and I will learn it with you if required. So that is how we survive programming at this age. So really knowing your boundaries, your energy, where do you want to spend time? And I think I want to also I spoke about boundaries in terms of schooling, boundaries in terms of managing the household. Let me also give my explanation of emotional boundaries. I barely get upset or stressed now. And it's a personal choice that I made to myself. I even know my kids will always tell me, Mommy, thank you for understanding. Because, even if they're very upset or I have every right to be upset, I really calm down. Because I always tell my kids, if I get upset with you, first, it will consume all my energy. And it will take so much time for me to calm down. And it will also take a lot of time for you to, to reflect and forgive yourself for whatever done you wrong. So we are always on a solution mode. Like for example, the other day, my daughter forgot to complete reviewing her examinations. And we have to go out to attend a birthday party. So she was already crying. It's like, Mommy, I forgot to review. I'm so sorry. I forgot we're going out and we're attending a party. So she was already in a mess, when she approached me and picked me up from the office. So first I said, I know that regardless if mommy gets angry that you forgot that we're going out and you forgot to complete your review, it doesn't make any difference at all. So I told her, let us talk about solution now. What can you do now so you can prepare for your examinations tomorrow? Because not talking about yesterday or whatever happened doesn't give us both any value. And then she calmed down. She said, Mommy, I think I can start reviewing. Can I borrow your phone? So I can just browse through my lessons from your phone. So on the way, I can do my review. I said, okay, you can borrow my phone and you can borrow my headset if required. And she did that. So really knowing your emotional boundaries, where do you want to invest your emotions into? Do you want to invest into anger of what happened already? Or do you want to invest your emotions into a solution mode? Because that can help you and your children manage any situation. So that's for me. Maybe Miss V will have more information about boundaries.
Yeah, I love what you said. You really have to choose the emotion. Not really choose the emotion, but choose where to pay attention to, what to pay attention to. In my case, since I've been also working from home for 11 years, 10 years, more than 10 years, the first thing is if you're working from home and you have small kids, it's very important to set physical boundaries. When we say physical boundaries, you really have to have a home office. Now, when it doesn't have to be a home office, just a spot in your house, and that whenever you're there, your body knows that you're going to focus, you're going to work. And secondly, if your kids see that you're in that spot, they know that you are working. So unless maybe there's fire, they're not going to disturb you. That's very important to really set physical boundaries at home. Second, it's also important. What I found to work is setting psychological boundaries. Meaning, because we wear different hats, so it's very important that we know which hat we are wearing. Be present. So if you spend time with your family, don't think about work. Don't think about your boss. Don't think about your deadlines. And if you're at work, don't think about your vacation. Don't think about family stuff. So it's much more efficient that way. And since I do work a lot, even if I'm just at home, but if I stop working, I make sure that it's quality time with my kids. So yun, yung psychological boundaries na yun. So the kids know they can talk to me, when they cannot disturb me, for example. Number three, set digital boundaries. I'm online, I don't know how many hours per day, and I really work long hours. But when I'm offline, I'm offline. This is one thing that I have been doing for years. I don't, as much as possible, I don't bring a smartphone with me when I go out. I don't. People who know my number, they are the ones who can reach me. And the others, I really, when I'm AFK, when I'm away from keyboard, I'm really away from keyboard. I'm not that type of person who will be looking at my cell phone in the morning, or I'll bring my cell phone and check messages. I don't. When I'm offline, I'm off. So I think I'm good at that. And it works for me because the people I work with know exactly where to contact me. I'm on LinkedIn how many hours a day. If I'm not there, then I'm not. And everything else can wait. Those that cannot wait, those people are the ones who know my contact number. So I set boundaries in terms of my digital presence as well. Set priorities. I really set priorities, especially with kids. And sometimes what I found to work is that whenever we have priorities as moms, it's important that we involve our family. First thing that I saw that work is that I have to get the buy-in of my husband. Years ago, he didn't understand what I was doing. I was working from home, and I have to have his buy-in first. And then I have to have the buy-in of my kids. So everybody's involved. In fact, they know the names of my clients. So who are you going to meet today? Then they know the names of my clients. They know, because for me, work is also personal. Business is personal because that's who I am. And also my clients also are aware that I have 5 kids and all that. So, but make them involved, but set the boundaries. When you have to focus on your work, focus on your work. When you spend quality time with them, then spend quality time with them. And this is what also you mentioned. For me, what works, that you have to pick your battles. At the beginning, moms like us, we feel guilty. For example, if we just work and then we're not able to cook, we're not able to do the laundry, we're not able to help in the household chores, then we feel guilty. Am I less of a mom because I'm not the one cooking? My husband is the one who cooks. So when I cook, my kids are looking at me, Mom, what happened? And because my husband is really good at that. So pick your battles. And sometimes, yung sinabi mo kanina, what's that? Yung emotions, choose the emotions. Sometimes, even if you're upset, you can actually turn that feeling of being upset to something productive, or to something that will make you take advantage of that time to really explain things to your kids. So divert your negative emotions, remove all the negativities, and just pick your battles. And also, it's very important to be in control. So you have to protect your time with your family. And at the same time, you have to protect your career from distractions. And don't feel guilty about it. It's okay. I mean, it's okay to create that boundary. You have to be in control. Otherwise, people will control you. If, for example, first thing in the morning, you check your email, it means you will find yourself being controlled by other people. If you start reading their emails to you, of course, it's like attending to them. Why not attend to yourself first, or why not attend to your family first? So you have total control. And I also want to comment on the homework, on your escalation. I found the term because I don't know your term before, but I think we do that as well. But it's not really escalation, but since I have older kids now. So I have 22 years old, 19 years old, and I still have grade 1 and grade 4. So in the past, I'm really the one who would review them and help them with their assignments. So I almost memorized elementary school textbooks. Alam mo, civics and culture and all that. And now, what happened is that my 22-year-old daughter can teach the small ones. The 19-year-old son can also teach the small one, and even the 15-year-old daughter can also teach the little kid. So it's more like distribution. Sometimes, okay, you will handle English, you will teach them English. The other one is good in math, or you will teach them math, and you teach them this subject. So everyone in the family is really involved in, we grow together. We live together, we grow together, and literally we eat together. That's how it is in our family. Sometimes I miss lunch because I'm working, but during lunchtime, what do you call my bell will be my kids. They will come here, mom, lunchtime and all that. So it's really important to get the buy-in of your family, involve them in what you do, but be in control of everything. Protect your time with your family and protect your career from distractions as well. Those are the ways that perhaps could help you as well, moms out there. Yeah.
Those are very powerful tips. Thank you, Miss Virginia. I agree with the physical boundary. I think, I've learned this from other mothers also. The physical boundary not only works for mothers, but also for children. A lot of mothers told me when we had the topic of how to manage kids' schooling, they have dedicated space for their children to study only. So that's also good. So also for me, when I am here in in my chair, my kids know that I know I'm into something, and they, especially when I'm talking live, they're like, oh, mommy is, cannot be disturbed at all times. So having that understanding with your children, what can they can do and they cannot do. Sometimes even if I'm on live, my daughter really wants to tell me something, she'll write in a small paper and then she'll slip it. So kids are very cute, but I think, you cannot stop them, but knowing really the boundaries. And maybe I'll just talk a little about spiritual boundaries. I mean, for me, I need to nourish myself spiritually. So that could either be prayer or Sunday mass. I know we cannot go to the church, so it's all online mass, right? So even online mass, I mean, I'm very serious of listening. And if my kids are, playing or laughing, and then I really, make it very clear that if you cannot attend an online mass with, be there physically, mentally, then don't even think of joining mommy. So this is a very clear message that I always give my children, because that is my time to spiritually, just nourish myself with something that I really need to go on. And my kids understand that now. So thankfully they know that if it's mass, it's serious. They can sleep, but they cannot talk. So sometimes they fall asleep. I mean, it's okay, but I am very serious about that also. So I think, every person, if you give yourself, a lot of mothers are complaining, I have no me time. But mothers, I also want to tell you, you can really manage a life, a family, and career if you give yourself even a minute of, just being you, maybe saying a prayer for yourself, or just quiet down, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out the stress of every day, because these are very simple yet very powerful boundaries that you can start doing now, so you can really manage that life, family, and career. And thank you, Miss V, for that. We'll move to the last, but of course not the least one. So, okay, let's talk about knowing your power. I love this quote from Marianne Williamson, which says, "No one will listen to us until we listen to ourselves." I've learned this the hard way. I experienced burnout because I was always the one who's giving, giving, giving. Because I thought as a mother, I need to give my children the time that they need from me. I need to give something to my husband. But I forgot that I also need something for myself. So I started to running on an empty cup. So they said, right, you have a water. But if you keep on giving, you will always run an empty cup to the point that you cannot give anymore. So I've learned giving the hard way, and it's by listening to yourself. I When I was experiencing burnout in 2014, I was always sick. And I don't even know, the doctors cannot even, find out if there's really something wrong with me because I was sick for no reason. My boss also tells me that time, "Wanda, why are you always sick every month? I will take sick leave." And that reason is because I forgot about myself. And this is very important. You might think, I want to serve my family first, but I've learned this the hard way, and I hope you learn it from me. So listen to your body. If your body tells you to sleep more, sleep more. If your body tells you to relax, relax. So, if you just need to walk, go outside, do it. Because if you are listening to your body will work for you at any time. So now I was able to maximize my potential by listening to my body. So if I'm really sleepy, then, sometimes even sleeping gives me a lot of ideas. So I will ask a question before I sleep of what do I need to do to reach this goal. And then when I wake up, I will be, I will have ideas already. This is actually an idea I got from Einstein. The truth is that your mind doesn't sleep. So if you ask questions before you sleep, it will solve the problems for you. Sleeping is a very powerful tool, so as questioning. So if you really want to achieve more, listen to your body, listen to what yourself is telling you. If you need a break, do it and go for it because that can give you so much energy at a later stage. How about you, Miss B? What is your experience about knowing your power?
I totally agree with what you said. And also, I've read that one that when we're sleeping, our mind doesn't stop working. So I'm trying to apply that. Since I read Jack Canfield's book, that's where I learned that. And some I do it deliberately. So whatever that I want to think more of, that's the last thing that I expose myself to at night. So for example, I have a decision that I want to make decision on something. So I sleep over that decision. And sometimes when I wake up, I know what to do the following day. I don't know, it just works that way. In terms of knowing, I think I will add something to this. Know your power and also know your superpower. What is the one thing that you are really good at as a member of the family, as a person in the workplace? What is your superpower? Practic At home, I find something that is practical. For example, as a mom, I also came from a point when I wanted to do a lot of things for my kids. And when I failed to do one thing, I felt so guilty. Then I learned that I shouldn't be guilty after all. Um, but on the practical side, what I learned is that whatever I'm good at, okay, I'll do that for my family. But whatever I'm not good at, my family is there to help me. Or we outsource. This is what we do. For example, if this is something that if outsourcing will help you and will help your family and you can do that, then do that. Especially now, for example, delivery of food is just a norm. So if, for example, you want your family to have a break cooking for the family, then you can just order food and that will save you a lot of time. And also, I remember I'm working with a company with a client, and like 2 weeks ago, the CEO asked all of us, the members, and he asked us one thing, and he asked, "What is it that when you do that one thing, it will have a huge impact, will have the biggest impact on the team performance?" I think that's also applicable in our family. So, because we're seven in the family, and I see that all of us have different skills, and I'm happy that the skills that I don't have, my kids have them. So, what is it that sometimes I measure things? If I, for example, do the laundry or fold clothes for 2 hours or 3 hours, I ask myself, is this the best way for me to help my family? What if I spend 2 hours or 3 hours doing some of the things I do for myself, like growing the business? So I guess I would do that. And then my family would be happy to help on other things. Or we would agree, my husband and I would agree on, okay, let's just outsource this. So for moms, it's important not to try to do everything, not to be a super mom, but know your superpower and then try to see how your family can help you. And then if there's no help that you can get, or you would rather do something else, then outsource that and don't feel guilty about it. I know kasi some moms would feel guilty, and it's because sometimes relatives would get in the way. Relatives will judge you as a mom just because of your choices. And what I learned is that you really have to choose who to listen to. What is good to your family may not be should not be coming from people outside the family who are not really aware of what your goals are as a family and what your values are as a family. So it's important that you know your superpower, and also you know each of the family members superpower, and you know how to use that to maximize your time, not only as a mom but also as an employee.
Thank you for sharing. There's a lot of things I'm learning from that. I mean, I definitely agree with you. Kids have their own superpower, right? And kids would always love to help. I remember my youngest approached me the other day. She's like, "Mommy, I think your academy doesn't have a merch." And I was like, "What's a merch?" And she's like, "It's a merchandise." It's like, "Oh." And she's like, "I designed you already a Working Moms Academy t-shirt that you can have in the future." I was like, "Wow, thank you." And then I was telling her, baby, because I think if there is one superpower for me, it's really about looking at the brighter side in any situation. And I can always see that if I always have a paper and a pen with me. And before I start my day, I always have a journal with me. So I always write, I have a thought dump, as they call it. This is a very powerful exercise for those of you who are not doing it already, especially mothers. I mean, we have about 300 to 1,000 thoughts per minute, and mothers have more because we have a big to-do list in our mind, right? And dumping it on a paper helps us to acknowledge the thought, and it helps me really organize and survive the day. So I will just write down of the things I need to accomplish today and the rest of the week, the things that bother me, the things that I am thankful for, the things that I wanna forgive myself for, anything that comes to my mind really. But at the end of the day, at the end of that note, it will always have, "Lord, help me perform the miracle you want of me. Help me prioritize what needs to be done." Because that is when I surrender to God, who I think has always the biggest power to help me influence my decisions. And I actually, I stopped making to-do lists. This is actually another powerful tool that you can do, because to-do list is just, overwhelmed. It's like I have 100 of lists, and then if I don't, tick one of this, or if I saw that I only have a few things that I've accomplished, I felt so bad. But what I started doing is I have a small notebook. See, it's here, but it's an accomplishment list. So I write everything that I've accomplished throughout the day, and it gives me so much. It's like, I've done so much today. And actually, it surprises me also that even if I did not plan something, I was able to do it. That is because in the morning, I started to ask guidance. Now, this is helping not only mothers but also our children. I realize not only mothers but every person have a lot of thoughts. And I know a lot of in the past I used to struggle sleeping because my kids are always they always find it difficult to sleep also. And one of the things that help my daughter sleep quickly now is through journaling as well. So before they sleep, they have their own journal to just recap what what happened throughout the day, say thank you or whatever comes to mind. And my eldest one even have a thought notebook. So she's like, "Mommy, I cannot sleep. There's still so many things floating in my mind." So she will grab her thought notebook first before she sleep. And then she will also write her journal because that is the way for her to process. So knowing your power also, and being an example to your children can help them manage themselves as well. I learned that only a stress-free mother can really raise stress-free kids, and only a calm mother can raise calm kids. So if you really want to manage this life, your family and your career, start it with yourself, because your kids will always copy what you do. So this is very important. So knowing your power is very important in being a great example for your children. I hope all of you are learning. For those who will watch us on replay, first I want to apologize to those people on LinkedIn. I've been having technical problems in the beginning, but when I remove LinkedIn Live, then it worked for us. So next week, I hope it
Really?
will go well. But of course, and I've already posted in LinkedIn also the YouTube live of this. You can always watch the recording. And if there's any other question you want to ask Virginia and me, you can send us a message and I'll try to get it through. And of course, answer every question. I hope we're learning a lot. We can move to the next slide, Miss V. Of course, see, we've already discussed a lot of things. If you really want to manage a life, a family, and a career, know your values, know your priorities, know your boundaries, and last but not the least, know your power. Every mother has a superpower. Yes, Miss B. And I think it's about, first, as Miss B said, stop feeling guilty. I always, in the past, I was always feeling guilty. I felt I'm not a good wife, or I felt I'm not a good mom. But you are right. It's only yourself, but also having that communication. I used to ask my children, what do mommy needs to do so you will feel more love? Or how can mommy help you more? And I even have my conversation with my husband. Is there anything you need from me? Because I know I'm always very busy, right? So that is very important. So thank you, Annette. Annette said this is important. Kids will learn from you. Totally agree. I mean, we are our children's leadership model. And of course, I would like to invite you next week. Our webinar is with my coach, Martine De Luna. We're talking about body compassing. March is all about mindfulness. So we're going to talk about mind, body, and connection. I've learned this, Miss Virginia, the hard way. And you can really make great decisions by using only your body. I mean, sometimes you feel like you're dealing with a person and you don't feel it right. I mean, in your gut, it's telling you this is not the right person for me. And we will talk more about that mind-body connection next week, same time, Saturday, 6 p.m. Singapore, Manila time. It's GMT +8. For those of you who are watching this on replay, Working Moms Academy is having webinars every Saturday, 6 p.m. Singapore, Philippine time. GMT +8. And of course, we also want to invite you, yes, Miss P, to the next one. Of the Working Moms Academy is now offering women corporate programs. If we want to empower and help your women really improve their executive presence. How can you really become a leader? According to study, less than 20% really of mothers and women are in the managerial corporate one. So we want to help mothers. How can you have an executive presence? I remember when I was a manager with Emirates Airlines, we were only 6 ladies out of like 40 men. It's very few, but you can be the leader that you are now, and we can help you and your organization develop those women in your company. And of course, to the next slide, I also want to invite you to the Working Moms Academy support group. We now have a support group on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And we want to, of course, help mothers overcome the stress of every day. So this webinar is posted, and actually we are live in the Facebook group as well as the LinkedIn group. We actually post the recording there, and we have free courses, free books to the women who's joining our community. And that is the link, bit.ly capital WMA support group. So please join us if you feel the need, okay? And of course, we want to invite you. Yes, I am very fortunate. Just before this live, Miss B and I have started recording LinkedIn Personal Branding for Moms. I will be very honest with you. I've been on Facebook for quite a long time. I've been on LinkedIn for quite some time only. But I was very active on LinkedIn only last year, and it was during the lockdown of March. But during the span of time that I was able to be actively engaged on LinkedIn, I was able to get a lot already. I was able to become recognized as the Rising 70 Filipinos by Marketing in Asia. I was able to get the approval of being the only Filipina now who can go live on LinkedIn. So if you want LinkedIn, thank you, Miss Virginia. It's actually it's my success can be credited to Miss Virginia because she is my LinkedIn coach. And for those professionals, for those businesses who really want to, improve your brand, who want to connect to the right people, I just want to tell you, LinkedIn is the right platform for you. And Miss Virginia have created something very special for the academy, Working Moms Academy. It's called LinkedIn Personal Branding for Moms. So if you want to use LinkedIn as a platform to attract clients, to get a new job, and to really achieve whatever goal you wanted through the 4 weeks course. Miss Virginia will walk us through. Miss V, can you tell us more about this LinkedIn personal branding for mom?
So first of all, I'm really happy to be working with you on this course. LinkedIn Personal Branding for Moms is special to me because I believe that first and foremost, I'm a mom before I'm anything else. And it's because I am a mom, I was able to do a lot of things, and that includes discovering my superpower, and that is helping people really leverage LinkedIn to attract career and business opportunities. And of course, I really want to help all of you working moms, all of you moms. If you want to leverage LinkedIn and build your brand, this is a 4 week program. So you will see here we have 4 weeks. First is really knowing who you are. We will start there. Second, how do you boost your profile so that you become discoverable and searchable on LinkedIn? And of course, that increases your chances of getting found by the right people. And number three, what kind of content should you put out there? It cannot be just any kind of content. You have to have a strategy. So how do you do that? How do you create a powerful content that builds a powerful personal brand on LinkedIn? And of course, on the 4th week, we're going to talk about now that you have a presence on LinkedIn, how do you leverage that presence? How do you grow your network so that you attract the right kind of opportunities to yourself? And when we say opportunities, it's not just job. We mean like learning opportunities, partnership, ventures. What else? What else? Wanda, affiliations and speaking engagement. All of those things that will help you advance your career and your business. These are all opportunities, and these are real. I always tell people, by the way, Wanda, especially moms, when you go to LinkedIn, if, for example, before you start using LinkedIn, you cannot find clients, you cannot get opportunities, the moment you leverage LinkedIn, start becoming active and consistent and committed to your brand, your next problem will be how do you say no to opportunities? And that we're going to talk about as well. And I guess that's a good problem. And I want you to have that problem and to have that freedom to choose who you want to work with and who you want to become in the next few years. So really, I'm excited. Thank you, Wanda, for this opportunity to work with you. And I'm excited because we've worked together 2 years ago or last year, and I see a lot of alignment in terms of values. And so when Wanda and I talk, it's just like having that conversation. So I'm excited with this because I know that this program that we're launching, Wanda is launching, will really help a lot. So yeah.
Thank you, Virginia. Actually, we are very fortunate to have Virginia, tell us about personal branding. When I started sharing my story, I was like, what story can I share? That's a bit because sometimes people say, what is personal branding? Because when I tell my story, it becomes personal bragging. But the good thing about having a coach who is a mother, it is not about personal bragging, but it's about how can you use your story to inspire and empower others. And actually, Miss Virginia's coaching with me helped me conceptualize that, of the many things I've been through, which story can really help a lot of people, and that is my burnout. And that is why I was able to come out with content which is now easy for me to share, because I don't come from a space of just telling a story, but telling a story from the point of service. And that is, what Working Moms Academy is all about. That's why we have women expert coaches, because we want mothers sharing their own struggles, successes, and stories. And I've trained with Virginia in 2018, but I only applied what I learned last year, but it works so much that it's really helping me, not only, about myself, but reaching out. And I am very excited about this. If you want to leverage and understand more about LinkedIn, this is where business people are, 600 million users. And you can really, I was able to find Annette who's from Puerto Rico. Imagine, I was able to meet Sofia, who's in Bulgaria. And I was able to connect with a lot of women in Australia, in India, because when they heard about this Working Moms Academy is something that we believe in and we want to support you. And if you are really wanted to create, if you want to create a positive difference in the lives of others, this is the right platform for you, because this is beyond sharing photos of what you ate, but this is about creating value and connecting with the right people. Email info@workingmomsacademy.com. We have a very special early bird prize for those who are excited to be with us. This is about mothers teaching other mothers. So not only will Virginia share, but I will share my own experience of how I applied what Virginia actually is teaching you. So you can really, improve your brand, be known for your story, attract the right client, get the right job if you really want to. So this course is out of this world. I'm sure you cannot get it from anything else. So I hope you just type info@workingmomsacademy.com and we will share more about this course and how it can help you. Thank you, Virginia. And of course, I want to continue. Working Moms Academy also have free webinars already. You have free courses. How can you land the job of your dreams? In this course, I shared 3-step formula so you can land the job of your dreams. You can see my career reinvention, right? It's a roller coaster ride, but I've used it again and again just using these 3 steps. How can you also move from burnout to bliss? I've really made it a mission to help others now to really move from burnout to bliss. And this is just it's a 1 to 2 hour webinar that tells you very simple step that can help you have bliss in your life. And last, of course, but not the least, how to reinvent your career. I know a lot of mothers, Virginia was telling me, while recording the LinkedIn live, she was the LinkedIn personal brand. She said, Wanda, a lot of mothers now are thinking of shifting their careers because the pandemic has opened their eyes that they want to do something else. And I think what is really good about now is that you can really be anything you want to be. I always believe that. But with the clarity first, Virginia and I were talking about the steps you need to do as well for you to go where you are to where you want to be. That is going to be covered in the course also. So I hope you do join us. But this free course is already a starter for you. Go to bit.ly WMA School and you can find it. And of course, I want to also announce that I've launched the Working Moms Academy YouTube channel 2 months back, but I haven't promoted, but it is now ready. Virginia has a 1 hour free interview and you can learn more from her, not only about managing life, family, and career, but many things else. But not only Virginia, I've also covered and interviewed 8 women, and these are some of them with how, in the Philippines, right, having the husband has to work, but Weeds has a very inspiring story of how the husband paved the way. She has a husband for 14 years. And she was able to successfully progress in corporate because of that family support. Now, her story is very inspiring because we're talking about balancing life, family, and career. And she shared how, as a family, they have decided that the husband can take care of the 5 children and she would focus on the corporate career. So if you do want to learn from these inspiring women, Carla, on the other hand, have shared how she was able to transition her career and leave her job in 2 years and successfully move back to corporate. So for those people who are thinking, should I leave my career now because I have 2 young children? Other than my story of leaving corporate, Carla is another great testimony that you can leave your job now and come back later. Because I learned your job will always be there for you, but your kid's age can never be returned. So learn more about how to balance family and career transition from Carla. And last but not the least, we have a senior citizen who is an expert in business, Mami Mirna Tam Natividad, shared how she struggled in 20 businesses and was able to successfully now find the ikigai. And now she's into a mission of helping other mothers, find the right career or business for them. Mommy N is going to be one of our expert academy. She's going to be the business guru for Working Moms Academy. So Virginia is our LinkedIn branding strategist in the academy, and Mommy N will be our business guru. In second quarter, we're gonna launch and help more moms, really find what's the right career or business for them. So please follow bit.ly YouTube WMA. You're gonna watch a lot of free webinars. You're gonna see the inspiring stories of these women as well. And please subscribe so you can get more updates of the upcoming videos. And we are also going live on YouTube. So I would like to thank again those people who are watching. And of course, Virginia has a very special gift for those people who are watching us live or replay. And for those people who registered already, we're giving you a copy of her ebook, 40 Secrets to boosting your visibility on LinkedIn. This is our way of saying thank you for attending this webinar. Whether you're watching this live or replay, we will, of course, definitely give you a copy. And I think I have two more slides. Is that the last one? Of course, last but not the least, Working Moms Academy has now partnered with the Asian Parent, the largest parenting app and community in the Philippines and in Asia. They are in 12 countries in Asia. And of course, if you want to learn, they also have a lot of tips and tools how to manage life, family, and career. And they also have a pregnancy buddy. If I knew this, years back, it would have been very useful. But if you go to the Asian Parent, you will learn a lot of things, not only about pregnancy, parenting, and everything in between. And there's another bonus. If you do join Working Mom Academy's group, we're going to give you 150 points in the Asia Parent app. And you can already claim the points to get discounts and vouchers and more surprises. So we're very thankful for this partnership with the Asian Parent. And again, is that my last slide, Miss B? Yeah, I think that's the last one. I would like again, any last words, Miss Virginia, for those who are struggling now. What do you think is the number one thing what's the message you wanna leave behind today?
To those who are struggling now, I think there's only one thing. Don't forget yourself. Love yourself because you cannot give what you don't have. So take care of yourself so that you can take care of your family and they can take care of you too. I think that's the most important.
I love that. Thank you so much. I definitely agree with Virginia. Take care of yourself so you can take care of your family. This is like in an airplane, right? I mean, being in an airline industry for over 12 years, I've you have to put your oxygen mask first before you can save another person. So be your own hero today. Do what you need to do. It doesn't have to be grand. Maybe you just have to sit down in the washroom for 5-10 minutes, or maybe you just need a relaxing bath to nourish yourself. Today, I hope you spend time, listen to yourself, take care of yourself in simple ways. And I know that can help you right away manage a life, a family, and care. Because if you take care of yourself, then it will be easier for you to take care of others. With that, we would like to thank you for joining us live today. I would like to thank everybody who's watching us live or replay in Facebook, in YouTube. For those in LinkedIn, I'm very sorry we're not able to go live, but the YouTube live is also there. And of course, if you do register, we're giving you a copy of the book of Virginia. And if you want to understand how can you use LinkedIn for personal branding, type info@workingmomsacademy.com and we'll share with you a special early bird pricing for this one. Thank you so much, Annette. Thank you, Joanna, for joining me. For those who's gonna watch us on replay, we would like to thank you for your time. I hope you have a great week. And thank you again, Virginia, for your time.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.